Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Please hit the subscribe button. Hey guys, it's me again on your screen. So on today's video, I'll be talking about how to write a personal statement. And people keep asking this question over and over again, and this is because in my previous video I shared about how I got admission to 5 schools in the UK: University of Nottingham Trent, Imperial College London, Salford University Manchester, and then the school that I'm in now, the University of Portsmouth. If you've not watched that video, I'll leave the link up here. You can click on that and watch the video. So in this video, we'll cover what is a personal statement, structure of a personal statement, things you should do before writing a personal statement, how to start a personal statement, the do's and don'ts of writing a personal statement. So if you feel you don't want to listen to everything I have to say, I'll put timestamps below to tell you where each of this section is, and you can just, fast forward to that. But before you fast forward, I have a gift for you today. I have a gift. Yeah, in short, it's 2 gifts, but you won't know where it is if you fast forward. It's better you watch to the end so you don't miss the gift. A personal statement is a supporting document you submit alongside your application to a university. It is your opportunity to tell them why you picked that course and why you feel your skills and experiences are relevant to that course. I hope that makes sense. It's a form of essay. It's an essay writing. But you're writing about yourself, about your skills, and why you've chosen this particular course. Now, structure. The structure of a personal statement is very similar to your normal essays. You need to have an introduction, the body of the essay, and then a conclusion. And then when it comes to the length of your personal statement, it varies. Some schools will be like they want 4,000 words. Some will say 3,500. It depends on where you're applying for. So ensure you know what is obtainable in that institution. Before you start writing your personal statement, here are some things you should do. Number 1, know what you want to study. Understand what you want to study. What do you want to study? What does it entail? Is it something you're really interested in? Is this something that you see yourself doing? Is this something that is going to, align you for the future that you see for yourself or for the career path you want to take? So ensure you know what you want to study. Now, after this, next thing to do is to go on the university website and find out more about that course and check the requirements, check the skills that are required, and like other professional requirements like your academic transcripts and all of that. Just ensure you know what the course entails. Now, after you've realized the skills the university listed or the requirements, you meet them, begin to think of your experiences. This is the time when you sit back and be like, okay, this is what I want to study. This is what the school wants. Where does my experience and my skills intersect in all of this? So begin to think of them. Begin to think of the courses you've taken online. Begin to think of some classes you attended. Begin to think of some books you read. Begin to think of an internship you had, a volunteering experience, your work experience. All of this, just start ruminating on them. Start thinking about them, because it will guide you onto the next step, how to write a personal statement. This is the core of this video. The way to start a personal statement is to just start. I know it sounds very crazy, but yes, just start. A lot of people tend to force over it a lot, like, oh God, what will I write? Just start. Now, from the previous step, which I said, begin to think of your experiences and skills. Now, what you have to do, open a Word document or a document on Google Docs or whatever platform you write on, and just begin to list out those experiences, begin to list out those skills that you think are relevant to the course. So you could just open a document and be like, volunteered at so-and-so, did an internship here, read this business book that really interested me, did this and that. So just begin to pour it all down on a Word document. I'm not saying you should proofread, don't edit, don't bother about spelling errors. Just write all the things you think should be relevant, like the things you would want people on the other end to know about you, the things that make you unique. The reason why you should do this is that it will give you, by the time you're done with this step, it will give you a guide as to the things you need to write about and elaborate more. And then it will also help you know the things that are not really relevant to the course you want to apply for. Another thing about writing is, please start early. Start writing your personal statement as soon as possible. The mistake a lot of people make is that maybe 2 days to the deadline you begin to write a personal statement because you've been so worried about writing it that you waited to the last minute, and now it's like fire brigade approach. You definitely do not want that. The reason is it limits your creative ability. Start as early as possible. For example, my personal statements took me over a month to write, like a whole month, you guys. I'll still recommend you check out the video up there in the suggestion box when you're done watching this. It will, shed more light on that. But my point is, this thing takes time, and you need to give yourself the time you need. So once you've put all those things on the Word document or whatever platform you're writing on, you need to now start building on each of those points. So you may pick out, okay, this volunteering experience, what do you want them to know that is relevant? And then you start writing under that. And then the truth of it is, you might get stuck. You will get stuck, right? But it should not stop you. When you get stuck, just leave it. Don't stress. Leave it and do something else. Then later on, you can come back to it and write. That's why I say it is important to start early, because if you start early, you would have the time to keep going back and forth to your personal statement. Later on, you get back to it, you try to write, and before you know it, 3 sentences in one paragraph, another 3 sentences, another 2 sentences. Gradually, you're building up something. Another question I often get asked is, how do I start my personal statement? Well, in this video, I'll mention simple ways you can start. First of all, tell a story. This is like the easiest way to start, because you alone know the experiences you've had. You alone know you alone know your skills and experiences, right? So you need to tell a story. Tell your story. A story about your childhood, a story about an experience you witnessed in your neighborhood, a story about your teacher who inspired you to pick an interest in chemistry. A story. Just tell a story. The reason why I really advise you tell a story is that storytelling is one of the greatest ways to appeal to people's emotions. So when you tell a story, it's a way of connecting with your audience. In my personal statement, I told a story. I told the story of how I grew up in Nigeria, how I traveled and had to experience an accident for the first time, and seeing people around me give first aid and all of that, and crisis. I spoke about my experience with crisis, my experience with disasters. So you need to tell a story, and it should be a story that is unique to you. Okay, another way to start is to start with a question. So you could just put the first line on your personal statement could be a question, and then everything underneath is you trying to answer the question, or you talking about why you want to study this course and how it will help you answer that question. For example, here's a question: how can Nigeria become a sustainable city by 2050? Now then, everything you write under that is trying to bring out the points or the ideas you think that would help Nigeria become more sustainable, or help Nigeria achieve more of the sustainable development goals. So you could start with a question. Another way you can start is to start with a tweet. Open with a tweet. Usually this would have been a quote, but because quotes are very common, like people like to start with quotes. You could still do that if you want. It's really nice. But I would advise you start with a tweet. It could be a tweet. Maybe you saw a tweet somewhere that really resonates with your cause or what you're interested in. You could put in that tweet, like write it and then, put it in the quote and write who said that, and then when you're writing, you mention that that's a tweet and all of that. So you could start with a tweet. There's no lay down rule on how you should start. Just ensure it's something that is able to allow you express your uniqueness. Okay, one more way to start your personal statement is to start with a bold statement. Now here's a bold statement. For example, Nigeria is the poorest nation in the world, full stop, and then you continue writing. Do you see that? It's bold. And whoever carries that will be like, what? Why is Nigeria the poorest? Nigeria is not the poorest. But then by the time the body of your essay explains everything, and then you get back and you conclude and you're like, oh, it then makes sense. Now, we'll go into the do's and the don'ts of writing a personal statement. Now, here's one thing to do. Do mention your experiences and your skills. Mention the things that are relevant. Mention the things that are relevant. It's not every single experience of yours that is relevant to the course you're applying for. So ensure whatever you're writing about is relevant. The key word is relevant. Okay? Here's something you should not do. Do not use cliche words. Do not say, oh, I've always wanted to study medicine ever since I came out from my mother's stomach. No, you did not. That's a lie. Do not say things like that. Do not say, I've always wanted to be this right from age 5. I've always wanted to, go to the UK right from age 3. I don't even know what I'm saying, but you get what I'm saying. Do not use that. Another cliche to totally avoid is, I always give 101% to whatever I do. No, you do not. You can only give 100%. Do not say that. You can only give 100% to something. That's a cliche you should totally avoid. Or another cliche is, I'm a great team player. Instead of saying things like this, give practical examples of where you exhibited that skill. So if you're saying, oh, I'm a great team player, when you want to say that, instead of writing it that way, give an example of a scenario where you were a great team player. Maybe you mention, you wanting to talk about your leadership skills. You mention how you were in a football team and how you led your team to victory after you guys were losing, and then everybody morale was down, and then you stimulated them, you motivated everybody, and then you guys succeeded, or you still lost, whatever the case was. That scenario depicts that you're a great team player and that you're a leader. Okay, so use practical examples and avoid the cliche words. It is really important you mention a book you've read, a conference you've attended, a seminar, an online course, a person you met, whatever. Just mention the things that stirred up your interest in this field. Mention the things that has made you really interested in pursuing this degree, in pursuing that course. These are the kind of things you should mention, okay? Also, do not use big grammar. Do not use words that you do not understand. Do not use words that someone would have to put a dictionary beside them to understand what you're saying. Write like you talk, simple as ABC. I know there's a tendency that, you're writing for school, you want to sound all educated, learned and, literate and all of that. No, please. Do not write with big grammar. Write like you talk. Like, use simple language. Use plain English to communicate your points. Write like you talk. Express yourself. Allow your personality guide the text. Just write like you talk. Be yourself. Be real. Be you. And here's a very, very important step. Do not copy and paste. I can't overemphasize this. Do not copy and paste. You will think, how would they know that you copied someone's personal statement? I mean, there are hundreds of thousands of personal statements all over the internet. They have the software that can scan through all of this text and check for plagiarism. So you definitely do not want that. They have software like what they call Copycat. There's software like Turnitin. These platforms, once you upload your document, it will scan through the millions and billions of documents on the internet, and once it finds that it was, some of you don't even try, you copy 100% and paste. Please don't do that, because once you copy, this software will spot it out and tell them it is 100% fake. It is not an original writing. So you definitely do not want that. Please do not copy and paste. Write your story. And also, one more thing you should ensure to do is to write your conclusion. So your conclusion should bring everything you've said to a totality. English. Tie down everything you've said to the conclusion. Reinstate why you want to study in that school. Reinstate why you feel that school is the best choice. Reinstate why you feel your experiences are relevant. Reinstate your career plans, why this course is necessary for the career you want, why you think studying so and so course is going to help you achieve this goal in 2 years' time, help you achieve this goal in 5 years' time. Mention your future and your career plans in your conclusion, and mention why you choose that institution in your conclusion. Okay. Another thing you should do is ensure you have a second opinion. What do I mean? It's easy for you to write all of these things and think, it is perfect. Maybe you've even proofread it 100 times. But the problem is, when you write things from your head, even when you're reading it, you do not see the errors you've made because you're reading it from your mind instead of reading it on the paper. So ensure you give it to someone else to get a second opinion. This could be a friend, this could be a colleague. But also, I would strongly advise that you pay for professional editing. Pay for someone to really edit it and proofread your work. Because sometimes, grammatical structure, tenses could be wrong. You could get someone to do that for you and have your personal statement top notch. Okay, guys, we've come to the end of this video. Thank you for watching till the end. And because you watched to the end, I'm going to give you the gifts. So here it goes. If you would like me to assist you in, coming up with a personal statement, to brainstorm and, look for the things that are relevant to the course you're applying for, you could click on the link below and sign up for your one-on-one coaching session with me. Mind you, I'm not going to write a personal statement for you. I'm just going to guide you on what to do, and then I'll help you edit it and, build the body of your personal statement. On the other hand, if you would like a review or an edit of your personal statement, you could reach out to JobSenseNG on Twitter or Instagram. They are really good at this, and because you watch to the end, there's a discount they are giving on their services, and here is the promo code. So when you send them a message on Instagram or Twitter, just mention the promo code. The promo code is UK2020. UK2020. So if you mention the code, they'll give you 15, is it 15? No, they'll give you a 10% discount off their proofreading and editing service. Okay guys, I hope you found this video helpful. Please don't forget to subscribe. Hit subscribe. No, here is here. Hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and you can also share to people you feel might find this relevant. Till next time guys, thank you.